Remember to subscribe to us here on Chat Sports as well. Let's talk a little bit of Los Angeles Lakers. Let's start with Anthony Davis and a little update on their possible trade for the Pelicans superstar. Well, it turns out that when you struggle as a group of young players, the front office is going to start thinking about getting rid of you. And yes, the recent struggles of the young players have quote-unquote bothered the front office. Now, the team has been quite bad without LeBron James. I mean, they lost back-to-back games a couple nights ago to the Suns and the Cavs. They didn't get a nice win, I guess, last night against the Bulls, who really gave them all that they could handle. That was kind of nuts. But as of right now, Anthony Davis is still the Lakers' primary concern over, just who they're going to trade these young guys for. Whether or not the Pelicans actually trade Anthony Davis this season is the real question here. They've said multiple times they're not going to, and I wholeheartedly believe them, but I'm not convinced. I believe them for now, but the Pelicans also have not been good this year, and it seems like everything's just kind of falling apart, despite the fact that Julius Randle's having a great season. Shouts to you, Lakers front office, for getting rid of Julius Randle. But again, I said this the last time that we talked about the Lakers, and I'll say this again. If I was the Pelicans, this would be the only deal that I would say yes to from the Lakers. Ingram, Kuzma, Josh Hart, 2 first-round picks. Don't care. I don't care if the Lakers hang up the phone. Doesn't matter. Because guess what? If you're the Lakers, you got to make a move for him fast. And if the Pelicans ask for that, you absolutely ship those guys out. Because the Boston Celtics are coming. And if they have a disappointing season, Rozier is gone. Jaylen Brown is gone. All those first-round picks, they're gone. They're going to send them to New Orleans for Anthony Davis. And all of a sudden, they have a team of Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Anthony Davis, and Jason Tatum. If you're the Lakers, you got to make a move for Anthony Davis now. You need to put everyone on the table, or you are not going to end up with him. The Celtics can make a better trade package than you can any day this week and twice in the offseason. Lakers got to make a move for him now, or it's going to be too late. And we know that with LeBron James coming back, trust me, guys, he's been watching, and he's not too pleased with how well this team is playing right now. Quote, according to LeBron James agent Rich Paul, if he's able to play, he'll play. Now, this also came after LeBron James said through various sources that he knew that groin injury was the worst of his career, but he is apparently very eager to get back. He wants to be out there on the court. He wants to continue growing his brand as a Laker and all that. Look, I'm sure he just wants to get back out there. This is LeBron James. This is the first major injury of LeBron James's career. And look, guys, I said this to you the last time we talked about LeBron James and his injury this year. This seemed a little bit more serious than they were leading on at the time. Because when he got injured, first he was day-to-day, and then we maybe come back next week. He's now all of a sudden been out for 3 weeks, and he's now going to get reevaluated in 2 days. He's going to miss the Lakers' next 2 games, so we do not know when LeBron James is going to come back to this Lakers team. He's still having an incredible season, but for now, he is taking part in some shooting drills. He's taking part in some warm-ups as well. So LeBron should come back by next week, but who will be next to him is another question altogether. Another interesting quote came out of the Lakers game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers from a couple nights ago. So according to a person inside of the Cavs organization, they apparently thought after the end of last season that, quote, the treads have come off the tires for LeBron James. And on top of that, one of the Cavs players, who we don't know, was not named, I think it was Tristan Thompson, saying, quote, last season took a ton out of him and was the hardest season of his career. Now, I very much believe in that. Again, guys, this is LeBron James, who went to 7 consecutive Eastern Conference Finals. That's a lot of extra basketball for anyone on the wrong side of 30 to be playing, especially in the Eastern Conference with that Cavs roster that LeBron had to do everything for. There could be an argument to be made that LeBron has now officially entered the category of old part of his career. We are now officially in the latter half of LeBron's career. We were waiting for the moment where it's kind of like, all right, maybe the prime is finally starting to come down. But in sports, primes end in one of 3 ways: injury, off-field problems, or age. And as of right now, LeBron just hit that first problem of injury. Maybe age is next. He's 34 years old. He just had his first major injury. I don't think LeBron is past his prime, but I think we have finally hit the downside of the bell curve because he has been up here for a really long time. I think he's finally starting the downslide of that hill. But how LeBron looks when he comes back remains to be seen. I'm sure he'll be as dominant as ever, and I'll look like an idiot as usual. But what you won't be if you use BetDSI is an idiot. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NBA120 for a 120% deposit bonus. Keep those questions coming in. Use that hashtag NBA. I see a lot of them coming in. We will talk about them after our Lakers rumors. Got a couple more things to go to, and then we will be answering all of your questions and more in just a minute. Keep those questions coming in, though, folks. We will certainly answer as many as we can. All right, got another rumor here about Rajon Rondo. He has officially been cleared to shoot, and also will start traveling with the team. Now, the Lakers very clearly need him back, which I never thought is something that I would ever have said about this Lakers team when he went down. I never thought that Rajon Rondo was going to be that integral of a piece for the Lakers. And he really is. Their ball movement is way worse without him. Their defensive rotations are way worse without him. I think what they're also missing from Rondo, I think they're missing that effort level that he brings. Now, I know in the past he's had a little issue between playoff Rondo and regular season Rondo, whatever, but this season he finally seemed to buck the trend. I mean, he was playing some really great basketball for the Lakers before he went down, and now we're hearing, Lonzo's excited for him to come back, as are the rest of the young players. He very quickly took over a leadership role on this team next to LeBron, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is one of the reasons that the Lakers go on a big win streak once him and LeBron come back. Also, one thing that's interesting to note, LeBron and Rajon Rondo have actually become quite close since they've joined the Lakers, including Rajon Rondo joining LeBron James to go watch the Los Angeles Rams playoff game the other day. Very interesting. Want to point out also that video that's rolling around of LeBron James walking through the Rams locker room, that was actually before the game, not after the game. LeBron actually didn't stay the whole time. He left once the Rams started to run away. I get it because they ran the ball well. Ran away with that game. So, shouts to the Rams. Congrats to you guys for making it to the NFC Championship game. Let's talk a little Luke Walton. According to Luke Walton, he had a great quote. And this is just, it's pretty much how it is for just about any job. You either get fired or you don't. Wise words from Luke Walton. So, Magic Johnson has wanted Luke Walton gone since he took over a leadership role in the Lakers front office. That is not new news. We've known this for a while. We know that Magic Johnson is not the biggest fan of Luke Walton. However, it doesn't matter because Luke Walton's biggest fan is Jeannie Buss. And Jeannie Buss will not let Luke Walton get fired. It's just not going to happen. So as of right now, where we kind of sit with Luke Walton and the Lakers going forward is this. The Lakers view Luke Walton as they do the other young players on their team. They view him as a developmental coach who they can turn into one of the top coaches in the NBA. Whether or not that has any validity to it at all, I don't know. I will say this, though. So far this season, Luke Walton has not been a great head coach. His offensive rotations have ranked last in the NBA. He has not found a starting lineup that has been suitable for this team. He has not found a good way to make sure that all the pieces mesh together that the front office has given him. Sure, that might be the front office's fault for giving him JaVale McGee and Lance Stevenson and all these guys who you can't really give important minutes to in crunch time. But to say that Luke Walton has done a good job this year with this Lakers team is just wrong. He hasn't. He has not done a good job with this Lakers team so far this year. I know bringing in LeBron James is a big hurdle. I know that bringing in all these veteran free agents to mix with these young guys is a big hurdle. But that's your job as an NBA head coach. That's your job as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, is to make these things work. He has a very short leash right now, and he should be thanking his lucky stars that the Lakers were able to win that game against the Chicago Bulls last night, because after losing back-to-back games at home to the Suns and the Cavs, the two worst teams in the NBA, it is not a good look that game against the Bulls was also close. So Luke Walton is for sure on the hot seat right now, probably the hottest seat of any coach in the NBA right now. So I want to know from you guys, is Luke Walton the coach of the future for the Los Angeles Lakers? I say no. I say no. I just don't see a reason why. Like, they brought him in because they thought that he was going to bring over some of the Golden State Warriors system to the Lakers, and it just hasn't. Like, what has he brought to the table as an NBA head coach so far? It's why I didn't like the hiring when they brought him in. You have LeBron now, guys. Like, stop messing around with developmental coaches. He's 34 years old. I say no. I do not think Luke Walton is the coach of the future. Get him out of here. Get an old guy in here. Get someone who LeBron is familiar with. Get someone who can actually develop the players that they've brought in. Speaking of the new lineup that I mentioned before, we did see a new lineup come in last night. Luke Walton benched both Josh Hart and Tyson Chandler and inserted KCP and JaVale McGee back into the starting lineup. And the team won their first game with the new lineup last night. Lonzo Ball had a fantastic game, 19 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Great game for Lonzo Ball in his first game with this lineup. For me, I think the worst part of this season so far has been the lack of development that the Lakers have been able to give Lonzo Ball. With all the lineup changes and the injuries and the coaching issues, I think Lonzo Ball is the biggest loser in all this because we all expected Brandon Ingram to take that huge step forward. But guess what? He hasn't. He really hasn't. He's been a huge disappointment this year for the Lakers. If anything, Kyle Kuzma has been the one to take the step forward this year. But this Lakers lineup is obviously going to change once LeBron comes back. I do wonder, though, is it time to make sure that Kyle Kuzma is officially just a starter? I feel like at this point, you just have to start him. He's been one of the best players. He might have been, actually, take that back. Outside of LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma has been the best player on this Lakers team so far this year, and he has absolutely earned himself a starting spot in this Lakers lineup. So I'm happy that the new lineup was able to get you a 9-point win at home against the Bulls, but boy, oh boy, does this team need LeBron James back, which not surprising seeing as that's why they signed him in the first place.